How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. My name is Sam Holcman, and thanks for joining me. The topic for this particular broadcast is large better than good? Those words don't have much meaning without context, so let me explain just a little bit, and hopefully you'll get some understanding of what is really facing all of us right now. And this has to do with the training that is going on in the world of artificial intelligence. In previous broadcasts, I talked about the various types of data or information or stuff, I guess is the best term, that these artificial intelligence models are being trained on. The internet information, which is the general stuff that's out there, information that is copyrighted, which in my view, and now it looks like with some of the lawsuits that are going on, not only my view, but legal view, is actually intellectual property theft, needs to be stopped. Third set of information that the AI engines are not getting to is what I call an even exchange of information, where, for example, you have to provide your email address to get a specific article or something like that, and if you put in a false email address, you don't get that. And of course, the AI engines don't get that. And then the last one is what we call best practices, and that's an exchange of probably dollars, is the easiest way to put it, for real what? Best practices. Best practices are not on the internet. Best practices do not get to these engines. So let's put that aside for a moment, those four classes of information, and then look at what's going on. And what's going on essentially is a situation where bad information is being absorbed by these AI engines to create more bad information. In other words, the training models sort of are eating themselves. And of course, they're getting, I'll use the phrase, worse and worse, because the more bad information that is being fed into these, the more bad information is being generated, because it's sort of like a mill that is, it's the biggest snowball rolling downhill. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And yes, there's good stuff being put in there. But the question is, on this broadcast, is large models better than what we refer to as good models? And of course, you probably can guess my conclusion. The answer is of course not. It's not the size. So there's four classes of things we need to think about. Large bad models, and I'm going to suggest most of these AI engines right now are in that category. Unfortunately for all of us, by the way. I don't want to, be the Debbie Downer, so to speak, but that's what's out there. And then there's large models that are being trained on really good stuff. That's not happening. We don't see that. And it's probably going to cost us money. And frankly, I'd be more than happy to pay for it if I know the provenance of the information that these models are being trained on. The third category is bad small stuff. It goes without saying. It's kind of a silly third category. And the fourth one that I want you to think about is good small models. Now, the word small is relative. And what we've been promoting to our clients is what we call EAI, Enterprise Artificial Intelligence, where we're using the engine, the processing engine, not the data, though. The data is, quote, our own. It's I call it category 3 and 4. Information that we have, that if somebody wants it, and we decide that a good exchange of value is an email address or something like that. And then the fourth one, of course, is our company, your company's best practices. And of course, you don't want that anywhere other your own. So you're going to build your own information that feeds your AI engine. To me, that sounds really, really logical. It takes these AI engines from intellectual entertainment to something that I think is very useful. So, 4 categories: large bad stuff, large good stuff, which would be ideal but not happening. Don't know if it's going to. Small bad stuff, that's ridiculous in and of itself. I don't think anyone's going to be looking at that. And then the one that we're thinking about that you should think about, which is small, your own training data or information or stuff. And of course, small is relative. Think about that. Think about the incredible value you can get with that. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.